if you have too many cryptocurrencies, doesn't that dilute the value of actually having one which has got sufficient critical mass that it actually genuinely comes to be used by everybody and everybody knows its value, and you can start to price in that currency? Because isn't that a value? If this is really going to work to break down the nation state, shouldn't you just have the one currency that everybody uses, and then you really have broken it down?
Well, I think you're going to have, if we can nail this idea of the exchanges, I think you're going to be carrying around a dozen cryptocurrencies, which are probably going to be automatically traded in a way which you'll barely recognise. So, you might have, and there are these, ladies and gentlemen, sex coin left over from something the day before, which you've just, you transact immediately into Anon coin, right? And then you transact it into nursery coin in order to pay for your childcare, right? Almost all, they do exist, and I know this because I went on the cryptocurrency exchange rate list earlier, right? But like they all exist, and I think you're going to have this huge proliferation, and I frankly don't think that the people that find Dogecoin funny really care that their currency hasn't reached a kind of critical mass. I think that in many ways, actually, what you're seeing is the opposite. You're seeing the idea that currencies can function and have value, even when only used by a small group.
But I suppose what I'm saying is, doesn't it only really become a currency once people start pricing in it, rather than if all you do is convert it into something else and everything therefore gets transverted back into cash at the end of the day, you can say, well, I know what that's worth. Then you can actually, you're using it as a medium of exchange to move value, but it's not really a currency as such until people start pricing in it, is it? And that's when you get your advantage of saying that the state doesn't control the money supply anymore.
Yeah, that's just size of market, though. I mean, that's
if I was a cryptocurrency enthusiast, I'd say that's a very bricks and mortar definition of the idea of currency. And if I'm transacting something, I give you 2 Litecoin, you give me a can of Coke, then you're using that as a means of exchange.
Well, it's an economist definition of the currency, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, what you're actually saying, what's a medium of exchange? Well, it's not something that you take in payment because you know you can convert it into something else. It's something you take in payment.
Yes, it is. That's the idea of currency. I take a pound because I know I can convert my pound into...
You can convert it into something, into another currency, into real pounds. That doesn't make it a currency. If you can convert it, if you say I'll take it because I know what I can buy with that somewhere else, and I know that'll be priced in the same currency, then it's a real currency. It seems to me it's a phony currency if all you ever do is calculate its value by reference to it at a real currency, real money.
But that's only what you're doing.
What I'm saying is you're not going to get people doing anything other than that unless you have one currency, or at least a small number of currencies.
I fail to see the distinction. I mean, every currency's value is priced in relation to any other currency, and it's priced in relation to a floating idea of value within the real economy. I don't see why a cryptocurrency... Yeah, exactly, gold. I don't see why a cryptocurrency joining that dance isn't going to be exactly the same idea.
Break down the nation state. It actually has to displace the real currency, doesn't it?
The tipping point is meant to be size of. So there's a very good talk about like, should Iceland adopt Bitcoin as a currency, and that would be an ideal playground for this. And in fact, I mean, I believe Montenegro use the euro. They're not in the euro, but they use the euro. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's all how people perceive it.